are the appropriate guidelines for your particular organization and your industry. And also, you know, it all gets back to that mission and purpose, right? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Because if you're trying to humanize the people in your company and create relationships, and like everything out there is ultra professional and all about work and all about the industry, and there's no personality behind it, then I don't know that you're going to be effective.
Greetings, Ted. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi, Gene. Good to see you. We run a nonprofit organization, and our employees engage with Twitter and Facebook, and we have found it's cut the clutter communication for a lot of our constituents because they can go direct to decision makers faster because email and phone calls don't always get returned these days. So we're seeing the social media as a new communication channel, but there's been kind of a movement to awareness versus like promotions and marketing. I remember like a decade ago when I first came around the chamber, it was like, how you market your company. But now it's how you bring awareness to a cause or awareness to something that you're doing in your company or industry that's earth-shattering. Oh, that's cool. And then people start building a conversation around it versus, back in the day, forward an email, now you'll retweet something or you'll make a comment on a Facebook page and people are now talking about what you're doing somewhere else when they want to engage more. So we're seeing it very, very useful.
Yeah, and I would say that it's a move a little bit more away from just blanket promotion and shotgunning a message out there and building deeper relationships with people and letting them become your voice and letting them amplify it.
The other way I can probably express it, we've seen it. We try to surround a lot of our messaging around a story or an experience. Back in the day, I always told the features of something. Now we're trying to show the benefit through something that's tangible. This just happened. Take a look at this photograph. Something real and tangible.
Yeah.
Quick little thing. Let's see. Jamie Flower, Tim Dillis, Andrew Baird, Roy Ray, and DS Long Construction. Thank you for welcoming me to the Twitter family.
That was it?
That was it, yeah.
Yes.
Given the explosion of social media from a marketing perspective, using your company as an example, if Microsoft hires you to get 1,000 bloggers to mention a new application, and then each of those 1,000 bloggers have 5,000 followers, you can't assume that 5 million people are going to be exposed to these new Microsoft applications. And how do you bring value to what you're doing? Go back to Microsoft.
So for us, it's not just about you've got exposure to X amount of people. The great thing about anything on the internet is that it's highly measurable, right? So, for us, we're able to track things back down to a conversion level. So when we engage somebody to talk about a brand, they're provided with tracking links and tracking pixels, so we know how many views it got, we know how many clicks it got, and then the advertiser can actually tie it back to online sales if that's their goal. Any other questions?
Does anybody actually read blogs anymore? I mean, with Twitter and all these other things.
Well, I think that you're starting to see a lot of fragmentation in the space in general. People's attention spans are very short, and so I think that you're seeing less and less long-form content. Even blog posts are a lot shorter than they used to be because people are just kind of like everywhere. And so, from an advertiser's perspective or a PR company's perspective, it's a little bit challenging because you can invest a lot of time to get somebody to write about your product or service, and they write the post and it's a great post, but people just don't have the time to even consume the whole thing. That's why I'm a huge fan, obviously, of Twitter. I'm a huge fan of short videos because people have like this 2 to 3 minute attention span. What? I would say 2 to 3 minutes. So if you have a big story to tell, break it up into little pieces, and then back to being able to get the right people to that content, title each of those videos. Don't title them your company, or title them what the problem that you're trying to solve. And that's how people are going to find you. Put the branding inside the video.
Your view on web pages that are updated once in a while versus the daily 2-3 hours of blogging or Twittering as the more effective marketing tool for companies. Just your views on the two. And the cost to keep up with Twittering, YouTube, keeping it fresh versus a web page.
I think that it depends on what the resources are in your organization and what the passion is. For me, one of the reasons I love Twitter is I can do it from I can't write a full blog post from my phone. I mean, I could, but it would be like really painful. But I can tweet from my car. I can tweet from anywhere, and I can share.
While you're doing a presentation?
While I'm doing a presentation, I can tweet. But I still, I try to update my blog at least once a week and do a little bit longer form stuff and get into some deeper issues. Because the one thing about, a tweet, you can't convey thought leadership. If your real goal is like, I want to be known as the guy who knows the stuff about this, you can't do that through Twitter. Like, it's very difficult to really convey thought leadership through Twitter. You have to do it through videos or through, I've got 2 minutes, or through longer form content. Yep.
Is it alright to be redundant? And the reason why I say this is because usually when I talk to people about technology, I always say that you want to have your Facebook, your Twitter, everything to lead you back to your own website. You don't want to keep things on the Facebook. You don't want to throw so much on Facebook. You don't want to throw so much on MySpace because the overall goal is to get everybody to your website. But should you just be redundant and just throw everything everywhere?
To be honest, I don't care. If you would have asked me that a year ago, I would have said, yeah, you need to drive everybody back to your website. To be honest, I don't care anymore. What I care about is that my content is everywhere. And that anything that I'm creating is branded for my company, for me personally, whatever it may be. So I don't care if it shows up. I don't care if somebody sees my video on YouTube versus on my website. I don't care. As long as they saw the video, I'm happy. Hopefully that video itself drove them to want to engage with me through something else. But I'm just as happy where anybody consumes the content. All right, I got 1 minute.
Okay.
Last question.
That's not a question. It's just there's been some, the audience obviously doesn't blog, and in their companies they might want to consider HubSpot study, showing small companies pre and post blogging had like on average 50% increase in their 56% increase in their traffic. So.
Yeah, it's a great, kind of going back to the point that we had before. It's a great tool for creating content and then having search engines and people discover you through. I mean, the big reasons that they're seeing those increases is that they have content to share and that they're being discovered through search engines.
What was the website you mentioned? HubSpot.
Yeah,
Did you say traffic or profit?
Traffic. There's another study on traffic. All right. We're out of time.
I think we're done.